Hello again, Jim Dowson here, guest presenter with the Templar Emergency Broadcasting, seeing you through the COVID-19 84. Load of nonsense, vicious lies, conspiracy, but a very real one. Now just flick that right up the top to see where I am. Let me see who's in the room. I like to see who's in the room, you see. Rolf, how you doing? God bless you. Andy, how you doing, brother? EMS, good man yourself, how you doing? Alex Catterall, how you doing? Nice to see you. UK Today, yeah. Bert Myers, Bert, how you doing? Spoke to you recently there. Excellent. I think it was Bert I spoke to there. William Petit, God bless you in West Virginia. Jim Young, how you doing? Yep, William Petit, Jockster, yep. Okay, who else have we got here? Who's in here? Bartley Burker, very good. I seen Lady Rotha, good old Lady Rotha. Sorry, not old, young Lady Rotha. Yes. In fact, Lady Rotha, I seen you make a comment the other day. It was very good. You were talking about somebody from the British movement or something. So you're really switched on. We were talking about spies and double agents and that. You mentioned a name and you were spot on. Spot on. So you've been about a bit. You know a wee bit about this game. Well done. I think it was Lady Rotha. Was I that the other woman that's in here? I can't remember, but I'm sure it was Lady Rotha. Anyway, WOG. Oh, right. Oh, what's the matter? Right, I know who it is now. Yeah, I was wondering, because that's a derogatory name for black people in this country, and I wasn't going to say it. Yeah, I ain't going to say that. Christopher Trujillo, yep. Michelle B, lovely to see you there on the forum, yep. Let's just go down here. And I think, Jonathan Boudin, God bless you, brother. Nice to see you. Scott Rash, nice to see you too. Greg Howarth, howdy, partner. Les Androkovich, lovely to see you. God bless you. Paul Telford, my old pal Paul Telford's in the room. I think that's about as much as we see. Russell, Trussell, down in South Florida. He's a lucky man. Scott Rash, yes. And Michael Kreitz, good to see you. Iwan Egostrom, Swedish guy, isn't he? I think, yep. It's good to see different folk from different countries in. And my good, unpronounceable Irish friend, God bless you, Sean McAlin. God bless you, God bless Ireland. Ireland's in a terrible state, isn't it? I hear tell that the Irish, Philip Milne, oh yes, God bless you, Philip, nice to see you. I hear tell that the Irish have appointed a children's minister, a guy who is putting all this vile sex education and trying to push for kids being able to change their sex without parental consent. And he himself, guess what, is an LGBTQ plus trans campaigner. That's how bad Ireland is. It's not the place that was depicted in the Quiet Man with John Wayne and Maureen O'Hara. I can tell you that anymore. It's terrible. And Antonio Rabello, God bless you. And James Ralph, yeah, seen him. Okay, I'll make a start here. William Mumford, I see William Mumford. McGuffin, Mr. McGuffin's in. William Mumford, yep. Joseph Taylor, yeah. Malcolm's there. Spider, how you doing? Dan Guerra, yeah. Andy McCoy, yeah. Everybody's in there. Did I see a Kevin somewhere there? Neville Walker, Neville, how you doing? Nev, I beg your pardon. And Kevin O'Mahony. God bless you, my Irish friend, Robert Erickson. Good stuff. There's quite a few. I never noticed those. Big Frank Bukovitz. Frank, how are you, brother? Yeah. Excellent. Oh, there's loads of folk in there. Clinton Dixon, how you doing? Nice to see you as well. Everybody's there. Everybody's there. What's this? What's Nev's here? Nev, how you doing? Lovely to see you. And I don't know how to say that. Blula no Bass. I don't know if that's Gaelic. If it is, I apologise for my outrageous pronunciation. My kids can speak the Gaelic, but sadly I'm not so good. But if you're in Belfast, welcome to you. Good. I met a man today, actually. I told him to watch this show, so it might be yourself from up at Shankill. If you're a all right, maybe know him then. It's definitely Gaelic, so it's not a man from the Woodfield to Shankill Road. It's probably a man from the west of the city. You're welcome. God bless you. And remember, no more brothers' wars. It's not about the orange or the green, it's about the black and the white. That's what it is now. I seen a horrible video today, a poor white woman with kids getting battered. This black guy got down. I must show it tomorrow. Take a note of that, brother. We'll need to show that video tomorrow. It was shocking. Got this wee skinny white woman down. He was battering her to death. And there's our wee kids, about a 2-year-old boy, saying, "Get off my mummy," and he's kicking this big guy. It was horrible. Can you imagine the footage came out the other way around? It'll be on 6 o'clock news. Be on all over. It'll be number one. It was horrible. Never seen anything like it. Like the video, click subscribe, press the bell, comment below and share. Right, as usual, I'm going to read a wee bit of scripture because we're in a very interesting bit of Romans. It's all about election and who are the chosen people of God and all that really heavy stuff. But I'm just going to read through this very quickly, okay? And I'm in Romans, chapter 9, verse 17. For the scripture saith unto Pharaoh, even the same purpose I have raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee, and that my name may be declared throughout all the earth. Therefore hath he mercy on whom he will have mercy, and whom he will he hardeneth. Thou wilt say unto me, why doth he find fault? For who has resisted his will? Nay, but, O man, who art thou that repliest against God? Shall the thing formed say to him that formed it, why hast thou made me thus? Hath not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honour and the other unto dishonour? What if, God willing to show his wrath, to make his power known, endureth with much long suffering the vessel of wrath fitted for destruction? So, apart from the Old English, it's very simple there. People say, well, God, why has God made me this way? Well, it's up to God to make anybody whoever way he wants. And people are saying there, well, why does God find fault in me because I'm a paedophile, or I'm a drunkard, or I'm a this, or I'm a that? Who are you to question God? Who are you to question God? Is the potter not the power over the clay to make one lump good and one lump bad? It's all down to God. People don't like that because it removes human agency. It means there's something far more powerful than us and in control. And human beings hate that because we always like to have some control, don't we? Well, with God, you have no control at all. It's all in his hands. We are in his hands. Amen. And may God bless the public reading of his own infallible, inspired and inerrant word. Amen. People say that's a very fundamentalist line to take. Well, let me tell everybody, I'm not a fundamentalist. Every fundamentalist I've met is never any fun and they're nearly always mental. I am strict, serious and on the ball. I do not debate matters of God. It's just the way it is. If you don't like it, take it on and jump. I will never debate all the... And you know, it's always atheists. Have you noticed that, folks? It's always atheists that want to debate about God. For something they don't believe in, it worries them an awful lot, doesn't it? It troubles them terribly. I have never heard so many people babbling on about God than atheists. When I go anywhere, somebody will come up to me, usually right-wing people and that British nationalists, and they'll say, oh, Jim, you're one of them God bothers. I would support you if you didn't keep going on about God. I don't need your support. I don't need you or anybody else. I'd rather stand alone with God than have the whole world behind me. It's as simple as that. Because when you're with God, you're never alone. And recently I had a lot of people in Ireland, a lot of people in the Republic of Ireland, Catholic country, they're always saying things like, why do you need to go on about religion, Jim? You know, we're Irish nationalists, we're Irish Republicans, we're Irish patriots. Well, nay, I say unto thee. I doubt very much that you can be a proper Irish nationalist and not be a devout Christian, probably even Catholic. How's that? How's that for you? I can imagine people will be roaring and squealing and shouting and saying, how dare you? No, I stand by it. And I would recommend any Irish nationalists out there who think that I'm talking rubbish, they obviously don't understand Padraig Pearse. You need to read Padraig Pearse's book, The Coming Revolution. He explains it far more eloquently than I can. Nationalism is mystical. It's a mystical union between you, the land, and the divine. That's nationalism. It's the only type of nationalism. There's not 2 or 3 types of nationalism. There's one. And that is you connected to God and connected to the soil and you in the middle. That's nationalism. God, you, soil. That's it. There is no other type of nationalism. That's the end of the matter. And that is why Ireland and many other Western countries are going down the pan, because they're trying to reject God in the nationalism, they're rejecting the soil, and they're bringing in ideologies and philosophies of man, and that never ever works in any time, in any place. It just leads to carnage. You look at the Third Reich, you look at Pol Pot or Mao Zedong or Lenin, it always ends the same way. So I despise communists, and I also despise Nazis. And people say, that's a shock, I thought you'd be a Nazi, Jim, because you're right wing. Let me explain this for the slow of learning. The Nazi Party, Nazi is an acronym, it's the initials. National German Workers' Socialist Party, or something like that. National Workers' Socialist Party of Germany. That's what it means. National Socialist. I am not a National Socialist. I'm not an international socialist. I'm not a localised socialist. I'm not in socialist at all. People say, but that's not really being a red. No, it's being pink. Pink leads to red. I don't care whatever shade of red it is. Pink is a shade of red. Anything that's red, it should be dead. I want nothing to do with it. I am a Christian, traditionalist, conservative in every sense of the word. Politically, morally, psychologically, economically. That's what I am. I have no time for all this nonsense. National Socialism, communism. Listen, if you take communism on this side, National Socialism, Nazism on this side, it's the same coin, different sides. People hate me saying that, especially right-wing people. You're not right-wing, you're a socialist. If you follow Nazis, you're a socialist. Talk to me, baby. I'm right-wing. I'm 100% right-wing, and I'm proud of it. Thank God that he made me right-wing. And not a red bone in my body. You know, sometimes I even get annoyed because my blood's red. But that's the way God made me, so I can do nothing about it. Anyway, folks, I want to talk to you today. Well, I wonder what people are saying there. They're probably going, Scott Rash, anti-socialist. Me too, absolutely. Yep. Hitler, yeah. I know all the German soldiers, this shocks the Nazis, all the German soldiers had belt buckles saying God with us. So the Nazis weren't completely socialist, but I think they used the Christian thing to fool a lot of people to get them into the party. But if you look at the brown shirts, for example, Roll and these kind of guys, a lot of the leaders in the brown shirts, raging gays, raging homosexuals. Yep. Full of them. Yep. What's this fella saying here? Other than the there. Yep, it's terrible. But this is the problem. You see, people are very mixed up. And you know, down south in Ireland, there's one or two nationalist parties. They're not nationalist parties, they're international parties. They're pro-EU. How on earth can you be an Irish nationalist party and defend EU membership? What's that all about? Why don't you just come back to the Brits? Phone up the Queen. I'm sure she'll take you back if you speak to her very nicely. Well, that would be an awful prospect, wouldn't it, for an Irishman? Well, I'm sure the Queen's a nicer woman than Angela Merkel. So if you don't want to be, and quite rightly so, I may add, you don't want to be part of the British Empire, why are you part of the European Empire? So anybody down south who says they're a nationalist and an Irish patriot but they're all right with the EU is a liar and an idiot. An idiot at best, a liar at worst. It's not good enough. And the other thing is, a lot of people down south now, these nationalist parties, they're all Nazis. They're actually, they're white nationalists. That's what they're, white nationalists. So they're okay with the English, they're okay with the French, they're white nationalists. Look, it sounds a good idea. You can hardly motivate somebody these days in any of our countries to die for their own country, and I mean die for somebody else's. So this fiction of, everybody's united as long as you're of one colour, it's no good. You have to be a nationalist. That means your soil, the soil that gave you life, the soil from where you sprung forth, the soil that if you dig it up and test it, it's got your granddaddy's DNA in it. That's what being a nationalist is. There ain't none of your DNA in Belgium. It's a waste of time. Nonsense. Silliness. But that's what's happening in Ireland, sadly. There's a few right-wing parties on the go that I know of. Some are raging neo-Nazis, white nationalists. They'd be more interested in what's going on in London than they would go on in Limerick. And other ones are pro-EU fanatics, liberals, pretending. So, okay, Bible updates. I have good news, wonderful news for everybody in the room. Every single Bible bar none, and even one that was returned to us because some went wrong with the address, all of them have been dispatched today. Well, I think there's maybe 3 or 4 lying on the desk. It's got to go in the morning. But anyway, they're all gone. There's no backlog anymore. Every single, that's the Apocryphas, that's the big family Bibles, that's the personal Bibles. Every single one of them's packed up and gone. That's the good news. The bad news is, our forge in Spain's been on to us today and said been another 7 to 10 days before the swords come in. Now, that's a bit of a nuisance. 100 apologies, but you can imagine the pressure the guys have been under. So I didn't really, what can you say? It is what it is. We've just had an international COVID crisis, and they've managed to get 1 or 2 deliveries out, but they're going to be 7 to 10 days for this one. So I know yous are patient. Yous are the most patient people I've ever met. So just bear with us, and I hope you don't mind too much. But all the Bibles are out, okay? Yep. Another good news is the book pre-sale page will be up this week. Yes. Yep. You can start pre-ordering books. Now, you're going to have to wait a few weeks for them. Maybe 3-4 weeks. Maximum. But there's only a limited amount of them getting run off. So you need to get in quick. And remember, we're going to do a deal. So it'll be, say, like $20 odd for one. Maybe $30 for two. Maybe, I don't know, under $40 for 3. Because we don't want to make money in these. We don't want to make money in these. The idea is getting the information out, because this book is dynamite. This book is explosive. And there's nothing like it. Nothing in the world has ever been written like this before. It's hardcore. Hardcore. As you say in America, hoorah! It's one of them books. You never see a book like it. In fact, maybe don't show anybody. You might get jailed. It's quite incredible. So we're going to have the page up for pre-ordering, and I hope all of you understand that we're out in a bit of limb with this. So the more people that pre-order, it really, really helps the Templar Order recoup the costs. So we really appreciate a big effort in everybody. I know you will anyway. Everybody get pre-ordering like crazy people, and it's much better value to order bulk. Yeah, because then you can give them to people. That's why we're doing it. I want to speak to you today. Yeah, probably Wednesday. Tomorrow's Wednesday, so maybe tomorrow, maybe Thursday. The page will be up. Okay, tomorrow or Thursday. And we're working on a few more technical things to make things more exciting. Today, I want to tell you something very, very serious and personal. I want to show you a picture. Show the picture, brother. That's a bus where 13 people were blown to smithereens in London 15 years ago today. Yeah. That's just up the road from a tube station called Russell Square, and in that tube station 26 people were blown to smithereens. Ladies and gentlemen, I was in amongst all that. I missed that by minutes. I stood where that bus is blowing up and people's heads and brains and guts are splattered over the wall. I've got a picture of me and my son standing arm in arm right there. God in his infinite wisdom had his hand upon me that day. And you know, back then I was quite wealthy. I'm not wealthy now. Templars have stripped me bare, but I'm like joking. Very glad to give. But I was quite wealthy there, and I was ready to retire. 40 years old I was going to retire. And that happened. And I knew then that God had laid his hand of mercy upon me for something else, and I dedicated myself. I says, well, look, let's get stuck into this, and let's try and do something for our people. And I've been doing that ever since. 15 years ago. Miraculous. There's no logical explanation why I wasn't caught up in the middle of that and maybe even killed. No logical explanation, just a supernatural explanation. So thank you, God. Thank you. And that's it. So on that day, 15 years ago, 26 people were blown to bits on a tube train, Russell Square. Quarter mile up the road, Tavistock Square, 13 people were blown to bits on a bus. Aldgate tube station, 7 people were killed. Edgware Road, again, I don't know if it was a bus or a tube, 6 people were killed. The perpetrators were Hasib Hussain, Mohammed Sadiq Khan, Jermaine Lindsay, and Shehzad Tanweer. There's a ringleader there, community leader, government financed to try and de-radicalise people and reach out in peace to his Christian neighbours and community. And he used that money to train other extremists and lead them on a suicide. Yep. James Partridge, he was out protesting outside Nick Griffin's court case that day in Leeds. Yeah. Well, there you go. That's what happened. And these people done the most terrible things. But I want to tell you, not a funny story, but an ironic story about that bus. There was a Scotsman, not Scotch. Scotch is a drink. There was a Scottish gentleman on that bus, sitting next to the suicide bomber. And he said, what's that guy doing? He's all, dressed as a Muslim. And the guy was in a bag, fiddling in this bag. And this Scottish guy said, the hell are you doing fiddling that bag? What are you up to? And all the people on the bus, all the white people on the bus said, yo, you're a racist, leave the man alone, you're a racist. And he said, to hell with yous all. Quite literally speaking, but he didn't know that then. I'm getting off this bus. And he, yeah, get off, you racist pig. Because he was confronting this guy with a bomb. The man had only walked off the bus, took 3 steps, bang. And 13 people were blown into eternity. The very same people who were having a go at that Scottish man because he knew something was wrong. He knew this fella was up to no good. But because he dared try and interfere with what he was at, and what he was trying to detonate the bomb. Because he was chastised for daring to speak to a Pakistani man in such a manner, he was flung off the bus and it saved his life. And the people round about the guy, the 13 people who died were mainly seated round about him. These were the very same people who were chastising this British man, this Scottish man, for pulling up the Muslim, for fiddling about in a bag. And they're dead, and he lives. And his last words to them, go to hell. He never realised that within 4.5 seconds, those people would be hell-bound. And that's what happens. People don't know that. But it was a terrible day. It was a terrible day. All the mobile phones went down. The government shut off everything because they thought they were under massive attack. Well, they were. 50-odd people were killed. And there's a plaque in London. It used to be on a little fence. And every time I walk by that, once every couple of months, I get down on my knees and I make a big fuss. I make a big scene of praying. I know Christians shouldn't do that. We should do it in quiet. But I've done it deliberately as a witness to those victims. Because people would stop and say, what are you doing? I said, I'm praying for the victims of the jihadis who were blown to smithereens here. That's what I'm doing. And they just go, oh, right, and walk on. And that's what's wrong with England. Nobody cares. Nobody loves one another. In Ireland, if you kill one of us, we'll kill you. That's why we've been murdering each other for hundreds of years, because we love each other. And if you hurt one of us, we'll hurt you. So the two communities in this island have been at it for, you name it, we've been at it forever. And that's why we need to stop being at it, because now our people have been hurt by other people, and we shouldn't be hurting each other anymore. We need to stand in unity, whether you're in Dublin or Belfast. You need to stand shoulder to shoulder and repel the attacks upon our people, foreign or domestic. Because most of the attacks are coming from our own government and some of our own people who pretend to be defenders of the people. They're the very worst kind. They're the people who are bringing all these folk in. They're the people who are attacking genuine patriots in Ireland, north and south. It's not just in the south this happens, in Belfast too. There's a lot of good, solid people who are attacked by the so-called defenders of the community. Oh yes, all working for state agencies or so Marxist that they hate their own people now. That's where we are. That's where we are now. But the ringleader that day, Mohammad Sadiq Khan, he worked in Hillside Primary School in Leeds as a learning mentor with children of immigrant families who had just arrived in Britain. Khan's colleagues commented he was a quiet individual who did not talk about his religious or political beliefs. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that man who was given a home in this country, my country, he was fed, watered and clothed and protected in this country, my country. How did he repay us? By strapping a rucksack on his back with a huge bomb and blowing nearly 30 people to bits on a tube train. People he didn't know, not soldiers, not combatants, just people going to work to make money, to pay taxes, to pay for his family being in this country in the first place. And that's how we're repaid. Same with the Manchester bombing, nearly 30 people killed, kids killed. Lee Rigby had his head cut off in the street. Same thing. All the people who'd done it were here at our expense. It's the same in America. Look at 9/11. Look at the other terror attacks. People who shouldn't have been in the country in the first place and who were living off the fat of us, the hard-working Christian taxpayers, and they repay us by slaughtering our loved ones and our children, our little children. That's where we are in the West today, folks. And let me tell you something. I'm fed up with it. I'm fed up with it. I'm fed up with lifting the paper. I'm fed up with looking at the news. And every time I put it on, we're being called the bad guys. Who have we blew up? Who have we killed? Who have we attacked? Huh? Nobody. But these people are at our throats every day of the week. And that film I seen earlier on with the African American beating this poor wee white mother with her pram, had her on the ground. He must have punched her 50 times. Just counting that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Count up to 50. I don't know how the woman's not dead. And her little 2-year-old son screaming and kicking the perpetrator. Wee boy, God bless him, 2-year-old, trying to get the man off his mummy. And everybody's standing about watching. All these other people of his ilk standing about watching. Some positively encouraging them. Can you imagine if that happened the other way around? It'd be on every news report for the next week. The police would be sent in, the FBI would be sent in, there wouldn't be a stone left unturned. That man would be arrested and jailed for the rest of his natural life, and everybody who was there, who watched it, who jeered it and never stopped it, would all be in jail for years. But we're like lambs to the slaughter, folks. Lambs to the slaughter. Well, I can tell you one of the reasons that I got involved with the Templar Order, because I'm no lamb. I might get slaughtered, but I won't be going quietly, I can tell you that. Gouging, biting, hissing, fighting, scraping, tearing. That's how I'll go out. You better believe it. Kicking, screaming and roaring. That's how I'll go out. We're all going to go out at some time. But I want to be led like a lamb to the slaughter. And that's why I know you people are in the Templar Order. Because we ain't passive Christians. We're not quiet Christians. We're not meek and mild Christians. We're the other type. You know the type? We're the other type. The ones who fought like lions in every war in this land. The ones who led the armies of the Crusaders into the Holy Lands to liberate Jerusalem, the holy city, and set our people free and reclaim the holy shrines of our God, the only living God, the only one true God. That's the Christians we are. You know the ones with the big red crosses on them and the big swords? The ones that the world shook and trembled at the very sight of, at the very mention of the Templars, people fled in terror. When the banner of the Bussant, the battle flag of the Templars was seen in the field, people fled in terror because they knew they were up against it. They knew they were up against men who knew no fear and never retreated. That's why I'm involved with the Templars, and I hope that's why you're involved with the Templars, because we ain't playing. We ain't carrying on here. This is no boys' game. This is no afternoon pursuit. This is real, and it's serious, and we've proved it by our blood, time and time and time again. And it never ends, and it never will end until the Lord comes back. So if you're a true warrior of Christ, if you're a true fighting man or woman, you should be in the Templars. If you're somebody looking for entertainment or looking for a boys' club or looking for some kind of social interaction, you're in the wrong group. Go and join something else. You're just wasting our time. So that's what I've got to say to you. I want the brother to put up if he can, put up a join link. Because if you're watching this and you agree with the words I'm saying, and you've got a heart, and you've got courage, and you're not a Templar, you're a disgrace. Because you should be. Things won't fix themselves, people. Everybody sits moaning, this is terrible, that's terrible, this is no good, that's no good. What are you going to do about it? We're an organisation of action. We do things. We don't moan. We put up with things with great forbearance. We have a stoic approach to life. But we don't just sit in a corner, stoic. No, we come out that corner fighting. Oh yes. Teeth and claws. You better believe it. And if you're that type of man or that type of woman, you should be in this order. Now, unless you're living in the top of a mountain or a cave and you're destitute and you're living in a cardboard box, there's no excuse not to be a member, even an affiliate member of this order. None at all. So we need people to put their money where their mouth is. We need folk to commit to what they believe in. And if you believe in the Templar Order, you should be in the Templar Order. You start off as an affiliate, you can work your way up to being a life member and then go through the process of being ordained a proper and true knight where you swear an oath to uphold the true faith, your country and your people, even unto death. And that's it. So I'm going to leave you with that because, listen, I have no power in this. Your conscience is between you and God. It's a private matter. But I've laid it out as blunt as I can. And Scotsmen, Ulster Scots especially, we have a great talent. God has given us a great gift of being extremely blunt. I'm not rude, and I hope you don't think I'm rude, but I'm blunt. So if you're not in the Templar Order, you should be. Time we got it right. Okay, that's all from me. I'm going to get my guest on tomorrow, a special guest. I'm not going to tell you in case it's a different one I get, but I'm going to try and get a very special guest on tomorrow with a good old blether, and you'll get a break from listening to the ramblings of my good self. But I felt quite passionate today, especially, the fact that I should have been dead 15 years ago and I'm still here. So every day the last 15 years has been a bonus, and I thank God for these last 15 years. I don't know if it's done much good or not, but time will tell. So listen, I'll be back with you tomorrow if God spares me, and remember, until then, stick close to God. You won't go far wrong. Do as vault.
The threat is real, and we are on the front line. In a world of misinformation and attacks from the left and mainstream media, censorship, deplatforming, it is time to call out the fake news and bring you the truth. We are the Knights Templar. Visit our website and join today. We are the Resistance. Deus Vult.